I didn't get here the easy way. I was one of
No,
those who thought I had to do all the things, clean my
me
whole
too.
house, do X, Y, and Z, and then if I didn't get there, I would beat myself up mentally.
Me too.
And I feel like a lot
I
of folks
worked.
do this, you know?
So here is, let me just give you a little rundown quick of what happened to me personally. And I would never, and this is why I do this, because I would love for this not to ever happen to anybody else. I was in a very long marriage, way too long for what I should have been. So that is one, we'll call it a strike. I got out of that. I worked a full-time job. I had a car accident, got a brain injury. 4 years of cognitive therapy. I was able to go back to work. I felt great. I worked. I opened my own company. So I worked all of the time, full-time work, work on the weekends and the evenings. Still kept my house, renovations on my own house, gardening, animals, chickens, dogs, whatever. And all of that time, I had a festering, predisposed group of conditions. And I pushed myself so far that I spent probably close to 3 years not being able to get out of bed because I was so sick. Had I not done those things and looked after myself, I probably would still be able to at least hold some sort of job outside of my house and social life outside of my house, because right now this is not my reality. My reality is that I come on here, I do this broadcast for 2 hours, Monday to Friday. Mondays are hard because the weekends are hard, because I spend my weekends cooking and cleaning, and I go beyond my means a lot still. But not to the point where I'm going to land myself in bed for 2 to 3 years again, because pushing yourself past your limits has consequences.
Absolutely. Listening to your body. Are you saying you really didn't listen to your body? You didn't listen to what you needed? You just kept pushing, pushing,
I,
pushing?
I felt like I didn't have a choice. And that's the people pleasing, and that's the perfectionist, and that's the type A personality. And busy yourself. If you have a problem, let's just work, 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 work. And then maybe it will be okay and it will go away. And, that really took the joy out of my life. I spent a lot of years being way too serious. I mean, I know I'm still fairly business oriented and serious, but I'm not afraid to step out of my comfort zone anymore. And I also have learned to say no without guilt, shame, or explanation or
Keep out them trauma
justification.
loops.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
amazing how quick you'll say no once you start healing, though. Because now I used to have start, but now I'll say it and not even think twice about it. I don't even have that internal thing going through my head should I have said no? Sometimes I'll say it, and then a couple days later I'll be like, wow, I really said no. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Like
Absolutely, it makes
I
sense.
think collapsing. Like a
It's,
lot of people collapse during the holidays. Like boom,
yeah.
they don't get nothing done because they'll run till they collapse, and then the next thing you know, you ain't seen them in like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, maybe a couple months. So
Yeah.
I think you touched on something very important: listening to your body and what you need, and learning what you need. You know,
Hmm.
being kind to yourself. Because are we really taught to listen
Oh,
to our bodies, anyways? Growing up,
no. And the Western medicine for sure teaches us to rely on pharmaceuticals as well.
Yeah.
And our first line of treatment, is never, go home and eat a whole food diet and go for a 20-minute walk every morning and then come back and see me in 3 months. They never ever tell you that. Why don't they tell you that?
No, your head hurts. Okay, here's some Advil. Going to work.
Yeah, like, oh, are you depressed? You must be depressed. Here, have some antidepressants.
Oh, and you know what? And at your 6-week checkup, when those antidepressants aren't working, you keep taking that antidepressant, and I'll up you one more. You take this one too.
We'll just increase your dose if they're not working, and we'll just give you this second one too. It's really hard. Oh, Ian, I'm sorry. Bipolar is very difficult mental health disease to live with. But I think that's all on a spectrum too, is it not?
What does she have?
Bipolar. I know one person, she struggles with one person bipolar, and she struggles with the death of her grandmother. I mean, grief is a difficult thing to move through in itself, because there's so many different stages of grief that we have to deal with, and there is no choice but to deal with grief, because it just kind of comes up and punches you right in the face. Like, you have no choice. You're going to go through the cycles of feelings, and yeah, I learned to say no, but the problem is now I can hardly say yes. I love it. Yeah. No. I started my own company. So many people don't know about natural things. They don't. And I think that's oh, you have bipolar. Okay. So maybe you could give a little bit of insight to Ian, Shelley. I have...
I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out something over here. So, as far as the bipolar thing goes, I was misdiagnosed with this for over a decade. And I didn't even have it. And what's wild is I became like expert in mood disorders, and went on to work with and help a lot of people with mood disorders, and I still do. But what's wild is I'm not used to be mad about it, but I'm not anymore, because I've helped a lot of people. It helped me help a lot of people, so in a way that's how I justify it. But bipolar is very tricky. It's a tricky disorder, and I wouldn't say it's hard to treat, but you got to get it right, because each treatment's individualized. What may help one person may not be what the next person needs.
Mr. Magoo, my prognosis is that you likely watch too much Sons of Anarchy. Mr. Magoo says, ma'am, I have OMD. Obsessive, I'm assuming it's supposed to say masturbating disorder, but it's not spelled correctly.
Yeah, I have that over here too, and that's what I was trying to look at.
So my prognosis, and probably Jeanette might agree with me, is that maybe one, you watch too much Sons of Anarchy, and this is the kind of disruptive thing that gets you banned from my live.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to take care of that over here.
So, tap his name, and then manage in the top left corner.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
And then you can choose. I always do permanent, because why just 7 days? That's not, it's not funny.
I don't know how to redo that, but yeah, that's good enough for right now. Hold up, let's see.
Yeah, you can mute people, you can blacklist them for 7 days, or you can blacklist them permanently. So when I choose to do that, I'm just going to go over this real quick because it's important, I think, for people who broadcast. When people like that come in, I always look at their account first. And when you click on this one and there's, or you report them. Sometimes I do both. When I click on the account, I can see that he has less following than followers.
Right.
Which tells me either it's a kid that's just, this is the new age knock knock ginger, I feel like. Or like, is your refrigerator running? You remember those, prank phone calls? So this is the way it is now. That's how I describe it.
Gotcha.
And I mean, some people are going to get mad and react. I usually just punt people out without any type of notification at all. I just kick them out for good, and I don't say anything. And it becomes boring for them to bug you, so they leave you alone.
Right.
Yeah. Some, you can report them as well. Yeah. You can click on their name and you can report them, but then you need a screenshot of what they've done. Or, there's different things. So I don't respond to
just figure out what to do with that.
Well, he put it over here. He put it over here too. That's why I thought I'd bring it up, because
I don't know that this broadcast is a place to be putting all that stuff in, because we don't need that kind of stuff here.
It isn't, and it's not. And the purpose of it is not relative to what we're talking about. To me, it's disruptive and it's ignorant, and I have no room for that. That's my boundary.
Hey,
zero tolerance.
Good. I have a zero tolerance for people who are disrespectful and don't be kind.
Yeah.
Be kind. Be kind to everyone.
Especially with the holidays coming up, because we all feel the extra stress and pressure and grief and exhaustion and...
Well, and two, I'm sure we have a lot of people on here who have children, who still have children
Yes.
at home. That is a whole nother level of pressure. Do you remember when your kids were growing up? And you had to do Santa, all the gifts and all the things. And then sometimes you had to go to one grandma's house and go to another grandma's house. I do not miss those days.
I remember.
I miss my kids being little, but I don't miss the hustle and bustle of running around.
So here, and this is something I talked about with, maybe it was my brother even. I remember when we were kids, and after Christmas we'd open up all our gifts, and then we'd like drive around to everybody's houses and visit them and see what they got.
Yeah.
that was a thing, like, for our generation of people. Like, our parents did that. Our parents, was it a competitive thing? Was it
I don't know, but we'd eat at everybody's houses, and I'm telling you what, we would be stuffed by the time we got home.
Yes. Yeah.
But how exhausting was that for our parents, though? Think about it. How exhausted they had to be.
But they didn't have this either. So we have this, and we're keeping up with all of these different apps and the cell phone and the 24/7 availability, and
True.
They could take their phone off the hook. And
I remember those days. I don't want nobody to call you.
you attach to the wall, and you got the extra long curly cord, so you can
just leave it off the hook, man, and it would ring.
Hide out in your bedroom. Yeah. yeah, 100%. That's why, I don't have a problem using the block feature, because I used to take my phone off the hook all the time. I refuse to be harassed. That's it.